I have a question, Paul. How can we sell our book called Redefining Seduction if people don't know what seduction means? Can you explain?
Well, seduction's had a bad connotation for a long time because of the ethics, the morality, the immorality of it all, and sexual nature of it, and we're about to redefine that. We're saying that it's the natural agent of change, of evolution for the human species. And it's all in the power of the woman.
And then some say, some of you perhaps, say, but isn't seduction manipulation?
Yes.
And because of the limitations of the English language, American language, perhaps he's English, I'm American, is it not true that in English we do not have a positive word for manipulation?
Right. I don't think there is a positive kind of connotation to anything involving seduction or manipulation. So we're trying to change that. We're making it the guiding effect that molds humanity into a new paradigm. Wow.
Yes. And so...
But how would we go about that?
Have you ever been seduced?
Yes.
By whom?
By you.
Oh, that's right, me. Yeah, 16 years ago, when I didn't have my glasses on, I seduced this young guy. He's only 20 years younger. It works, by the way. So seduction was, at that time for me, a very risky thing because I was making the call. I called, and of course that is not, that's shunned.
It is shunned.
It is shunned.
It's not encouraged. Not encouraged by society.
But I had a biological, intuitive feeling that I was doing the right thing because I knew what I wanted in a male. I wanted a sense of humor. I wanted a man who wrote poetry, that was responsible and kind.
Oh.
That's all.
And how did you go about doing that?
Well, seduction is actually a process that at the time I didn't know, I just came naturally, but the process is a historical one for both men and women. There's two neural pathways to pleasure. First is food, right, you guessed it. The second is, yes, down there, sex. And it's purely for the procreation of the species. I mean, that makes sense, right? So what a wonderful way to get a man's attention. I love to cook. And I love to write poetry too, and so I just kept calling and calling.
She did. She would turn up at my door, unexpectedly sometimes, but usually it was every other day we would get together and have a wild and fantastic time, making love and making food together, and I was overwhelmed, actually. It was an amazing experience and not what I expected at all. And the process is that pretty soon my life became her life. We began to meld our lives together. It was amazing. And then after quite a long time of this...
Yeah, so actually it took a year and a half. And when he called me a year and a half later and said... I'd like to move in with you. I just was so flabbergasted. Oh, and I forgot to tell you the main thing, the beginning of the seduction. I said two things to him. And again, it was synchronicity that I said them. I said, no strings attached. Worked. And I kept it in the now. And not once did I ever use the word commitment. When am I going to see you again?
Right.
Are we going to have babies? Or are we going to... there was no future. It was absolutely in the now with and exercising my lifetime of fantasies that had unbelievably accrued, stacked up, that I have never been able to use in this culture. And it goes back to from Marilyn Monroe to Frank Sinatra and all the way up the chain of fantasies, of the movie fantasies and books that I've read, and I was able to play act at the same time, enjoy and have a meaningful connection with this guy.
I never knew when I walked through her door what was going to be happening inside. It was unsettling and exciting and strange and different and enjoyable and wonderful, and it was like fantasy life. So
how long have we been together now?
16 years. Yeah.
And during that period too, he actually, you remember in the second month, you sent me a little Dear John, and you were, nervous. So then I hyped up the procedure, which you can read more about the details in our book, the ABCs of pure seduction. But I would say just disappear for several days, and he wouldn't hear from me.
Yeah,
just
that was strange.
Blank. Just keep him alert and miss me. But the goal was, to eventually for him to forget his own cooking, his own lifestyle, and the sharing.
To feel more comfortable around Donna, to be feeling whole when I was around her and not whole when I wasn't with her. That's kind of how it's supposed to be.
Dum dum da da. Oh. Da 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 da. No, kidding. It's called partnership. We work harder at it if we are not. Don't use that M word. No.
That's right.